The atmosphere on the Kelly Clarkson show was expected to be lighthearted when Teddy Swims, the soulful powerhouse whose raspy voice has skyrocketed him into stardom, sat down for an interview with Kelly. Fans anticipated laughter, stories from the road, and perhaps an impromptu performance. Instead, what unfolded shocked both the live studio audience and viewers at home. Things began smoothly, with Kelly praising Teddy's success and his journey from small-town singer to chart-topping artist. Teddy responded with warmth and humility, recounting the hardships he endured before breaking into the industry. But tension surfaced when Kelly brought up criticisms that some had levied against him, specifically, whether his rapid rise had made him too mainstream, or if he had abandoned the raw, underground vibe that first earned him fans. Teddy, visibly stiffening in his seat, replied sharply that he didn't make music to appease critics or labels, but to speak his truth. Kelly pushed back, suggesting that some of his latest singles sounded more commercial than his earlier work, sparking a back-and-forth exchange that quickly escalated. The audience gasped as the usually soft-spoken Teddy's tone grew sharp, accusing the show of framing him unfairly and trying to box him in. What happened next turned an ordinary talk show appearance into a viral spectacle. As Kelly attempted to defuse the moment by pivoting to a lighter subject, Teddy cut her off mid-sentence, raising his voice as he declared he wasn't going to sit and be interrogated about selling out, when he had worked his entire life to reach this level. The audience, caught between shock and support, erupted into nervous claps and murmurs. Kelly, clearly surprised by the abruptness of his reaction, tried to calm him down, saying she meant no disrespect and admired his artistry. But Teddy had already made up his mind. He stood, removed his microphone, and walked off the stage while the cameras were still rolling. Gasps echoed through the studio as Kelly looked stunned, momentarily at a loss for words before regaining composure and assuring the crowd that the show would move forward. Clips of Teddy storming off spread instantly across social media, where debates erupted. Some fans defended him for standing his ground against what they saw as pointed criticism, while others felt he had overreacted to Kelly's questions. Within hours, the clip dominated trending feeds, and both Teddy and Kelly found themselves at the center of a storm of commentary, with fans wondering whether bridges had been burned, or if reconciliation was still possible after such a fiery clash. The fallout from Teddy Swims' dramatic exit on the Kelly Clarkson show was immediate and relentless, with social media becoming the stage for an even bigger showdown than what happened on television. Within minutes, the clip of Teddy walking off mid-interview went viral on TikTok, Instagram, and X, racking up millions of views and sparking fiery debates. Fans divided themselves into camps, some praising Teddy for refusing to be cornered, arguing that artists shouldn't have to defend their creative evolution, while others criticized him for being disrespectful to Kelly, who had simply asked tough but fair questions. By that evening, hashtags like #TeamTeddy and #JusticeForKelly trended simultaneously, turning the incident into a full-blown cultural moment. Entertainment outlets jumped on the chaos, with headlines ranging from Teddy Swims' meltdown on live TV to Kelly Clarkson caught in explosive clash with rising star. Inside sources claimed producers were stunned by how quickly the situation spiraled and had to cut to commercial earlier than planned to contain the awkwardness. Meanwhile, industry insiders speculated that this could damage Teddy's reputation just as he was gaining mainstream recognition, while others believed the controversy might only fuel his popularity with fans who loved his raw, unfiltered energy. The day after the shocking clash, both Teddy Swims and Kelly Clarkson addressed the controversy, but instead of calming the storm, their statements only poured gasoline on the fire. Teddy took to Instagram Live, visibly frustrated, claiming that Kelly and her producers had ambushed him with questions that strayed far from what he agreed to discuss, insisting he wasn't there to be interrogated about his personal struggles but to celebrate his music. His fans rallied behind him, praising his honesty and framing him as an artist unfairly cornered by mainstream media tactics. Hours later, Kelly fired back on her own show, clarifying that nothing in the interview was scripted to provoke, and that she simply wanted to connect with Teddy the way she does with every guest. But in a pointed remark, she added, "If someone can't handle an honest conversation, maybe they shouldn't sit down on a talk show." That single line lit up the internet, with people dissecting whether Kelly had just taken a deliberate jab. Talk show commentators, late-night hosts, and even other musicians began weighing in, some siding with Kelly's professionalism and others applauding Teddy's refusal to play along with what they called the Hollywood machine. Rather than closing the chapter, their dueling narratives escalated the feud, ensuring the controversy had legs well beyond one heated interview. As the feud spiraled, the fallout began affecting both Teddy Swims and Kelly Clarkson in ways neither had anticipated. Teddy's team announced that several upcoming press appearances were being postponed, citing creative differences with networks, which many interpreted as him refusing to risk another confrontation on live television. Meanwhile, tickets to his shows started selling faster than ever, with fans rallying behind him, turning the controversy into a movement of support, branding him as a truth-teller who stood up against the pressures of celebrity interviews. On the other hand, Kelly's show experienced a sudden spike in ratings as viewers tuned in, curious to see if she would make another sly comment or address the clash directly. The network leaned into the drama, replaying clips of the tense moment during promos and quietly enjoying the publicity. Still, critics questioned whether her approach crossed a line, with opinion pieces debating the ethics of prodding guests about sensitive topics for entertainment. Things escalated further when other celebrities began chiming in. Some like John Legend and Pink defended Kelly, praising her ability to keep conversations real, while others, including Brandi Carlile, voiced support for Teddy, calling the clash a reflection of how artists are often cornered in uncomfortable settings. What started as one explosive moment on live TV had now snowballed into an industry-wide debate, blurring the line between authenticity and exploitation, and leaving both stars navigating uncharted territory under the brightest spotlight of their careers.